Bing Crosby follows in one moment. This is KGO, AM and FM in San Francisco.
Bergie says, for real enjoyment, serve Burgermeister beer with meals. You'll like it.
Burgermeister, Burgermeister, it's all right and golden clear. Burgermeister, Burgermeister, it's a truly fine pale beer.
Burgermeister beer is brewed by the San Francisco Brewing Corporation, San Francisco.
When the blue of the night meets the gold of the day, someone waits for me.
This is Ken Carpenter, welcoming you to Philco Radio Time, produced and transcribed in Hollywood with John Scott Trotter and his orchestra, Judd Conlon's Rhythm Airs and Bing's guests, Claudette Colbert, Gary Crosby, Dennis Crosby, Philip Crosby, and Lindsay Crosby.
For those of you who tuned in late, this is the Crosby program.
Yeah, that's right. By the way, what's your name, Bub?
I am the masked spooner. Here to weave you some gossamer dreams.
I know you. Well, Bing, it's nice to see you again after our vacation. What's new?
Nothing. What's new with you?
Oh, nothing.
Keep tuned in, folks. From time to time, we will bring you these late news bulletins. By the way, Ken, who's our sponsor this year?
Who's our sponsor? Who's our sponsor?
You mean we haven't got one? Let's go home.
Hold it now. Wait a minute. Philco's our sponsor.
Philco?
Of course, Philco.
Gee, this will make our third year with Philco. I can't understand it.
Well, why not? The Philco people are very happy.
I know they're happy, but are they happy with us?
Well, they're so happy they don't mind us.
It's all, huh?
No.
Business is good,
Oh,
huh?
terrific.
Well, I may hustle them for a new portable.
No. Don't do that, Bing. No,
Why not?
we've been lucky so far. Let's not do anything to disturb them.
Shouldn't press our luck.
No. You know how it is in radio.
It is an uncertain business, I know. I noticed that Bob Hope isn't with Pepsodent anymore.
That's right. Bob was switched.
Switched, he should have been clubbed. Say, Ken, have you noticed our Wednesday night lineup here on ABC? The Groucho Marx, throwing money away, Milton Berle throwing jokes away.
Why don't you throw a song away?
I'll throw the biggest song away you've ever heard.
That's
Just
it.
stand by. If the Rhythm Airs will move in, we shall serenade one and all with You Call Everybody Darling. Here we have a downbeat, John Scott. You call everybody darling, and everybody calls you darling too. You don't mean what you're saying, it's just a game you're playing, but you'll find someone else can play that game as well as you. If you call everybody darling, then love won't come a-knocking at your door. And as the years go by, you'll sit and wonder why nobody calls you darling anymore.
You'll call everybody darling, and everybody calls you darling too. You don't mean what you're saying, just a game you're playing, but sugar, someone else can play the game as well as you, darling.
If you call everybody darling,
Honey child,
then love won't come a-knocking at your door. And as the years go by, you'll sit and wonder why nobody calls you darling anymore.
I wonder why it's so hard. Nobody calls you darling anymore.
Great, boys and girls, that was darling.
Well, I thought it was okay, considering that we all just spent the summer in the hinterlands.
Tell me, Bing, were you able to keep up with all the news while you were back up there in the hills?
Didn't miss a thing. An Indian runner brought me the Pittsburgh Pirates score every day. Every day.
How about the days they didn't score?
No Indian.
Bing, didn't you get wind of the really big news?
There was more?
Oh, you've been out of touch, old boy.
What?
Philco's got a new kind of phonograph.
Huh?
Plays 45 minutes of music from one of those new long-playing records.
Amazing. Could you tell us more about this fantastic development?
Naturally, I have a prepared statement right here in my hand.
We're prepared. State.
Well, it's very happy stuff for a starter. Folks, Philco for 1949 has just introduced the greatest advance of modern times in recorded music. It's a new kind of phonograph that plays two kinds of records. All your standard records, of course, with Philco's new automatic record changer. But here's the topper. It also plays 45 minutes of music. Every note of a 6-record symphony from just one long-playing record. And not only symphonies, but a complete program of dance or dinner music. All the songs from a Broadway musical on a single 12-inch record. Now, that's the best thing that's happened to phonographs since the automatic record changer. Prove it for yourself. Seeing is believing, and hearing is better still. Get a demonstration at your Philco dealer now. It's the newest thing in radio phonographs from Philco, the leader.
Here's a song I've been humming to myself practically all summer, and I guess you have too. I guess it's time now that I came right out with My Happiness, the song made popular by those Elko favorites, John and Sandra Steele. Evening shadows make me blue when each weary day is through. How I long to be with you, my happiness. Every day I reminisce, dreaming of your tender kiss, always thinking how I miss my happiness. A million years it seems have gone by since we shared our dreams, but I'll hold you again. There'll be no blue memories then, whether skies are gray or blue. Any place on earth will do, just as long as I'm with you, my happiness. A million years, it seems, have gone by since we shared our dreams, but I'll hold you again. There'll be no blue memories then, whether skies are gray or blue. Any place on earth will do, just as long as I'm with you, my happiness.
Very good. You know, you're looking great. Your vacation did you a lot of good.
My vacation is just starting.
What do you mean, just starting? You were away with your kids all summer.
See what I mean?
Oh. You know, being with your kids away at school now, I'll bet the house must seem empty.
It is empty. When they leave, that's quite an evacuation. It's like the 8th Route Army leaving us. But even though they're gone, I keep finding many reminders of the little darlings.
For instance?
Well, there's that cute little hole that Dennis hacked in the roof to let his pigeons in. Then there's the other hole that Philip chopped in the roof to let the pigeons out.
Oh, clever. I love that.
Thorough, these boys. Real thorough. Their brains are clicking every minute. Little wheels are wheeling and turning. Then every time I step in the bathtub, there's Gary's pet snapping turtle to give me a pedicure. Makes it nice.
A rather rugged reminder of the
Oh,
land.
yes. And then at the end of the day, when I step down to relax there in my easy chair, I find Little Lynn Submarine. The one with the periscope. I love them all. pain of it sometimes.
Well, they may be a bit of a problem now, Bing, but they'll be a great comfort to you in your old age.
Yes, but why should they bring it on so soon?
Oh, now, look, Dad, they can't be that much trouble.
Oh, no?
No.
Ken, when the 4 kids are home, our mailman mails our mail to us, so another mailman will have to deliver it. Did I tell you the little spot they got me in with Claudette Colbert?
Well, that'd be fun to be in a little spot with Claudette.
Teddy, really, Ken, this was embarrassing.
What happened?
Well, the other night I was listening to my Philco and spending a quiet, enjoyable evening at home.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is your favorite disc jockey, Whirlin' Willie, concluding another 23 hours and 45 minutes of recorded music featuring Bing Crosby. Whirlin' Willie will return to the air with another 23 hours and 45 minutes of Crosby records after a 15-minute interlude during which we bring you the latest news.
Who listens to the news? I get my news from an Indian. Wonder who that can be. Come in.
Hello, Bing.
Well, Claudette Colbert.
Oh, Bing, I'm so glad you're home.
So am I.
I just took a chance on finding you in. Are you busy?
Not at all. As a matter of fact, I was just sitting around listening to the news.
Well, I was listening to the news myself. But that other 23 hours and 45 minutes is really a clam bake.
Oh, I don't know.
And you'd think they'd have more than one clam.
Well, I wouldn't know. I never listen myself.
Well, anyway, Bing, I just had to drop by and thank you for the lovely roses.
Roses? I didn't send any roses.
Oh, come on now. I know you sent them, and it was sweet of you.
Oh, yeah, on the level. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, Bing, why not admit it? I realize it was just a mad, boyish impulse.
Claudette, I haven't had a mad, boyish impulse since I was mad and boyish.
Bing, even though you were sly enough not to enclose a card, I found out that the roses had been charged to you.
Oh, stop. Claudette, look at me. Do you think this tired old groaner would be romantic and dashing enough to send flowers to a girl? No, Claudette. Must have been somebody else using my name as a subterfuge.
Now, who'd want to hide behind a tired old groaner?
I don't know, but I'm going to call the florist and find out. He might think this is a big romance or something.
No, you don't have to worry about the florist. He was very discreet.
Oh, well, that puts me straight.
In fact, he wouldn't tell me who sent the flowers. But fortunately, his wife's hairdresser is a patient of my sister's dressmaker's dentist.
We're in big trouble again. Everybody in town thinks I'm sending you poses, huh?
No, don't worry. As far as they're concerned, it's just hearsay and rumor. After all, outside of myself, the only person who actually saw the flowers was my maid.
Your maid?
Yes, and her sister.
Your maid's sister?
Yes, she cooks for Luella Parsons.
Well, then I'm cooked. I gotta keep Luella quiet till I get this thing straightened out.
Well, how are you going to do that?
I know. I'll send her some flowers.
There you go again.
On the level, Claudette. This thing's got me baffled. Who's going to use my charge account to send flowers to a girl? Gee, couldn't have been my brothers, and it couldn't have been the kids.
No.
Couldn't have been the kids. Couldn't have been the kids. Why not? Why couldn't it have been the kids?
Oh, Bing, if your boy sent the flowers, I think that's wonderful.
Well, I can't believe they'd send flowers. If they'd sent a bullfrog or a coyote pelt or a coyote, but flowers. Why, they're only children.
It's later than you think, Pop.
Well, this thing calls for a little conference, and I think we'll bust this case wide open right now. Just a minute, Claudette. Oh, boys. Hey, boys. Come on in here on the double now. You better stand back a little, Claudette. Sometimes they make a very spirited entrance.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Boom.
What is it, Dad? Cut out the hose. Say, fellas.
Hello, Miss Colbert.
Hello, Gary.
Hello, Miss Colbert.
Hello, boys.
Hello, Miss Colbert. Did you get them?
Next.
Did I get what?
You know what?
Lindsay, for your information, the you-know-what are now the we-all-know-what. And Dennis, why were you the last one to get downstairs when I called? What delayed you?
A little embarrassing, Dad. Hey, which one of you guys left your bubble gum on the banister?
Come, we take care of that a little later. Now, for the sake of the record, I want to know who charged those flowers to me. What do you know about it, Lynn?
Oh, gee, Pop. I don't want to squeal.
Well, then I'll ask the question in another way. You send the flowers, Gary?
No, sir.
You, Philip?
No, sir.
Dennis?
No, sir.
Lindsay?
See why I didn't want to squeal?
Now we're getting someplace.
Did you like them, Miss Colbert?
Oh, they were beautiful.
That's not the point. Another thing, Philip. Haven't you been taught to remove your cap in the presence of a lady?
Yes, sir.
Then why don't you take it off?
Hey, which one of you guys left your bubble gum in my cap?
I think we better tackle one mystery at a time around here. Now, Lynn, why did you send those flowers to Miss Colbert?
Because she's beautiful.
Well, what's that got to do with it?
How do I know? I'm only 10.
Ask me. I'm 15.
Well, I don't like to interfere, Bing, but personally, I'm very flattered that Lindsay was so thoughtful.
That's nice, yeah, but how long has this been going on? You've sent flowers to any other ladies?
No, sir, but I'm the type.
Yes.
Just a minute. We thought of sending those flowers just as much as you did. Yeah.
Well, you're all very dashing and very romantic, and I'm sure Miss Colbert appreciates your gesture of affection.
I certainly do. And, Lynn, I'd like to give you a great big kiss.
Can't we just shake hands?
Why, certainly. And I want to thank all you boys.
Claudette, now, he's enough of a lady killer already. Let go of his hand.
I can't.
Why not?
Which one of you guys left your bubble gum in Lynn's hand?
Oh, this is fine. Listen, what am I going to do with you fellas?
Oh, they're all right, Bing. After those roses, I could forgive them anything.
And you're not mad at us for the you-know-what?
The flowers?
Oh, no. We've got another you-know-what.
Out with it. Another, huh? Tell me what else happened, or I shall have to paddle your I-know-what.
Well, Dad, you know how you've always told us not to play baseball in the street?
Yeah.
When we break a window?
Yeah.
Why don't we listen to you?
I sure wish I knew. I've tried everything. I guess it's just...
You don't have to explain, Pop.
I'm not explaining. Who's... I am not explaining. Whose window did you break?
Who got the flowers?
Well, that does it. If you fellas won't listen to anything I say, I guess there's only one thing for me to do. I'm afraid you'll all have to suffer the indignity of a good licking.
Dad, do you realize that prominent child psychologists agree that reasoning and logic have replaced the old-fashioned spanking?
Psychology is a lot of baloney.
Well, let's give it a chance.
Chance nothing. Upstairs, all of you.
No, Bing, I don't think the boys should be punished for this. Now, I remember when I was a kid, I once broke a window playing ball.
You did? What'd you get for it?
2 bases. That was the ground rule.
A two-bagger, huh?
Never mind.
Could you hit a two-bagger now?
Well, I haven't played for a long time, but I bet if they ever grooved that 3-2 pitch, I could still murder it.
Say, how'd you like to play baseball with us, Miss Colbert?
Sure. Who was on the team?
Well, there's us 4 Crosby kids, our 3 uncles and Dad,
That's only 8.
and a fellow named Barney Dean.
Oh. What's the name of your team?
Dean's Demons.
He furnished the uniforms.
That lineup sounds pretty impressive. What do you need me for?
We're a little weak at third base.
I resent that.
Oh, gee, Dad, don't feel
I
bad.
should have known. The way I've been getting the cold shoulder around the locker room lately.
Bing, you're being oversensitive. Baseball is hard-boiled business.
Yes, and it's sneaky, too. How do you think I felt when I happened to pass the ballpark Saturday?
What happened?
They all told me the game was Sunday.
You'd have been proud of us, Dad. We won our first game.
Oh, you did, huh? Who'd you get to take my place on third base?
Nobody?
Nobody.
Yeah, Max Nobody.
Well, don't give me any of that. Now, I'll tell you one thing. I paid for that bat and ball. I got an investment in your team.
Well, Pittsburgh doesn't let you play with them.
The Pirates are doing all right without me.
And you can do the same for your kids' team.
Oh, yeah? Another thing. You fellas go ahead and invite Miss Colbert to play with you, and you've never seen her work out. How do you know she has any ability?
Believe it or not, she'll sure dress up that third sack. She'll be great. If the runner gets on third, he'll never want to go home.
Oh,
Denny.
Yeah, that's That's what our team needs. Glamour.
Can I say this? Go.
Yeah, that's what our team needs. Glamour.
She's got to lay it out. She's got a big line after. That's what our team needs. Glamour.
That's what our team needs. Glamour.
Well, if that's the way you want it, I'll turn my uniform over to Miss Colbert.
There goes the glamour.
Well, I guess I've had it. This is it. Just give me my release. Anyhow, I got an offer to play with Albuquerque.
Albuquerque.
Do they still play in blankets there?
They do. They do all right. Well, good luck to all of you, and I include Max Nobody.
Bing, I've got an idea. You don't have to leave the team. You and I can alternate on third base.
No, no chance, Claudette. There's not room on third for both of us.
There's room over on second with me. Dad, why don't you stay on the team as a coach?
Coach? Yeah. After all, we need you for that harmony we give out with during the seventh inning stretch. No, nothing doing. If I can't play third base, I won't sing third base.
Oh, come on, Bing. You better stay with the group. I can't sing bass.
Dad, how about us giving Miss Colbert a sample from the vocal department of Dean's Doing?
No, not me. You go it alone. I'm a free agent, boy.
We will now sing Blue Shadows on the Trail, which is one of our father's big records.
Oh, thanks very much. You're doing a grand job. Hit it. Blue shadows on the trail. Blue moon shining through the trees. And a plaintive wail from the distance. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Little distance, please.
Comes on the evening breeze.
Move along, blue shadows. Move along. Soon the dawn will come and you'll be on your way. But until the darkness sheds its veil, there'll be blue shadows on the trail.
We're grand. Well, Ken, that's about the way it went. The flower incident was solved. I replaced Claudette's broken window. She got my spot on the ball team.
Did you sign with Albuquerque?
I'm waiting to hear from him.
Say, I've got a commercial here. What'll I do with it?
It's a straight line if I ever heard one. Let's have that again, Carp.
I said I have a commercial here. What'll I do with it?
Put it in the box, tie it with a ribbon, and throw it in the deep blue V.
Oh, wait a minute, Bing. This one's so good, if I did, you'd dive in after it.
Let's have it. I'm ready for the plunge.
Well, folks, you can't miss if you tie a big, bright ribbon on any of the new 1949 Philco radio phonographs. Now, I'd like to hit a point about the brilliant tone every new Philco gives you from the new long-playing records. Now, you can't play these long-playing records with an ordinary tone arm. So Philco engineers developed a new balanced fidelity reproducer with only 1/5 of an ounce pressure, and it's for use on long-playing records only. Believe me, its performance is something to write home about. It's no makeshift adaptation of the standard tone arm. It was specially designed in the Philco laboratories in collaboration with the same engineers who produced the long-playing record. So if you want to catch up with the greatest radio phonograph invention since the record changer, see your Philco dealer now and hear the real thing on a Philco. You'll find it ready and waiting in a full series of beautiful console and table radio phonographs from Philco, famous for quality the world over.
Here's a beautiful melody from England, A Tree in the Meadow. The words are very nice, too. It's caught on rather well over here, you know. Very big. All there. There's a tree in the meadow with a stream drifting by, and carved upon that tree I see, I love you till I die. I shall always remember the love in your eyes, the day you carved upon that tree. I love you till I die. But further on down Lover's Lane, a silhouette I see. I know you're kissing someone else. I wish that it were me by that tree in the meadow. My thoughts always lie, and wherever you go, you'll always know I love you till I die.
That's about it for this first one, but I want to thank Claudette for being with us tonight. And I also want to congratulate her on her debut as a movie producer. Say, what's the first production, Claudette?
That's a story I'm doing with Bruce Manning and Jack Skirball called Love is Big Business.
Love is Big Business,
It
huh?
sure is.
Never mind.
Say, Dad, aren't you going to congratulate Miss Colbert on her debut as a ball player, too?
Oh, yes. Sure is going to be great news when it gets around that you've got a girl third baseman on your team, Claudette.
Oh, we've got that all figured out. Yeah, we're going to call her Claude.
Very bright, very brilliant. No one will ever suspect.
Not if I'm wearing your uniform.
Yeah, it's even hard to recognize Dad in.
I've had just about enough out of you, young man.
Dave, I think it's about time to ask you who your guest is next week.
Next week, Claudette, Judy Garland joins us.
Oh, wonderful. Well, good night, Dave.
Good night, Claudette.
Good night, boys.
Good night,
Good night, Claude. Claude. Save that for the ballpark. Good night, folks. Thank you very much.
This program was produced and transcribed in Hollywood by Bill Morrow and Murdo McKenzie. Tune in to Philco Radio Time next week and hear Bing Crosby, John Scott Trotter and his orchestra, the Rhythmaires, and Bing's guest, Judy Garland. And remember, keep your eye on your Philco dealer now for the newest thing in radio phonographs from Philco, the leader.
This is ABC, the American Broadcasting Company.
This is KGO, AM and FM, San Francisco.
Clearer,
Lighter.
drier.
Rainier is all three.
You know it is.
Yes, you know today's Rainier Club beer is clearest, lightest, and driest. Independent laboratory tests prove it. Your own taste will prove Rainier more refreshing, more satisfying.
Drier.
Rainier Brewing Company, San Francisco, Los Angeles.
Stay tuned now for the Star Theater with Milton Berle.
The following program is transcribed.
Someone waits for me.
This is Ken Carpenter, welcoming you to the Bing Crosby Show, produced and transcribed in Hollywood, with John Scott Trotter and his orchestra, Judd Collins of the Mares, and Bing's guests, Fibber McGee and Molly. And now here's the Pittsburgh Pirate from Spokane, Washington, Bing Low and Wide Crosby.
Thank you, Ken, but if you'll take another look, you'll see that I'm not as wide as I was a few weeks ago.
You do look very well, yes.
I've been working out with the Pirates, and the training has certainly done me good.
You going to play with the team all season, Bing?
No, I couldn't keep up with the other guys, so they're trading me to Billings, Montana Club for a hind quarter of buffalo meat. Along about here, Jack Benny would say, But I think I'll sing, and a very lively tune it is, if the Rhythmaires are handy, and I see they are. John Scott, let's get to going, huh? Love is so terrific, such a funny feeling, makes you want to cuddle and cling. Makes you sentimental, makes you kind of gentle. Ouch, terrific thing. Love is so prolific, sends your head a reeling, makes you want to giggle and sing. Roo-ba, roo-ba. Makes you sigh and wonder, hits you just like thunder. Ouch, terrific thing. Life rearranges, suddenly changes, everything strange as it can be. Memory gets hazy, then you go crazy. Wow, look what it's done to me. Love is so terrific, such a dizzy feeling, makes you hear the wedding bells ring. Roo-ba, roo-ba. Melts away your collar, makes you want to holler. Ouch, terrific thing. Love is so terrific, such a funny feeling, makes the winter turn into spring. Start your heart a thundering, get your mind a wondering. Oh, terrific thing. Love is really so prolific, sends your silly head a reeling. Makes your daily troubles take wing. Makes your pain a pleasure, love is such a treasure. Oh, it's a terrific thing. Life rearranges, suddenly changes, everything strange as it can be. Memory gets hazy, then you go crazy. Wow, look what it's done to me. Love is so terrific, such a dizzy feeling, makes you hold the world on a string. Melts away your collar, though you won't regret it. Makes you want to holler, don't you forget it. Love is so terrific, ouch, terrific thing.
That was great.
That jolly?
Well, it was. Very seasonal, too.
What do you mean, Ken? Love knows no season.
Ah, but this is spring, Bing, when a young man's fancy turns to romantic thoughts and sweethearts stroll hand in hand under these balmy April evenings.
Drenched to the skin.
Poets write odes to nature and stuff. Ah, me, that I could set my thoughts to music.
Kenneth, you sound like the breaking up of a hard winter. What you need is some sulfur and molasses.
A thing of beauty to inspire.
I might have known. From the Broadway show, Inside USA, starring B. Lilly, Jack Haley, and hundreds of other talented people, here's the ballad, Haunted Heart. In the night, though we're apart, there's a ghost of you within my haunted heart. Ghost of you, my lost romance, lips that laugh, eyes that dance, haunted heart won't let me be. Dreams repeat a sweet but lonely song to me. Dreams are dust, it's you who must belong to me. and thrill my haunted heart. Be still, my haunted heart. Haunted heart won't let me be. Dreams repeat a sweet but lonely song to me. Dreams are dust, it's you who must belong to me. And thrill my haunted heart. Be still, my haunted heart.
Hey, Molly.
Yes, McGee?
Where's that new photoplay magazine I brung home this afternoon?
The magazine I brought home, dearie.
My gosh, did you bring one, too? I can't find neither one.
Well, I hope you do find it. There's a big story about Bing in this issue.
About who?
Bing?
Bing who?
How many Bings are there?
How many Bings are there? Well, there's Bing Sprangton, the actress.
No. That's Spring Byington, dearie.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I'm talking about the Bing Crosby who sings.
Oh, you mean Harry Crosby. Sure, I know him. What a set of pipes.
I agree.
Yes, sir. 7 Dunhills, 2 K Woodies, 4 corn cobs, and a calabash. Never see him without one, too, either.
How'd you know his real name was Harry?
How did I know? I knew that kid when he was a tenor.
Really?
Sure. Sure, he didn't use his own name then. Called himself Morton Downey.
Morton Downey. Isn't he one of the Merrimacks?
No. Too young. The Merrimacks was during the Civil War. Fought the Monitor.
Oh, yes.
But I know Harry Crosby all right. Skinny kid with wavy blonde hair and a tendency to slice. Sings with Paul Whiteman's band.
He was with Paul Whiteman.
Oh, Whiteman let him go, huh? You know, before Whiteman fired him, millions of people spent millions of dollars getting their radios fixed, thinking they had loose connections. When all the time it was just that little sound effect in Crosby's throat.
Yes, I remember the effect. It sounded like a crapshooter with loose kid gloves on shaking a pair of rubber dice. Was Mr. Crosby worried about it?
Was he worried? He thought he was washed up. I seen him sneaking out of the hotel one morning with what looked like a gun case. Where you going, kid? I says. And he says, I'm going out in the country and shoot myself.
Heavenly days.
Going out in the country and shoot myself a game of golf, he says. He played golf then.
He plays now, too.
Not as good as he did then. Now, if he loses the ball, he can afford it. But about his voice, I took him aside one day and I told him not to be discouraged. I says, look, I says, Harry, I says, can a turtle sing? No, he says, a turtle can't sing. Well, I says, Harry, if the voice of the turtle can clean up $2 million silent, you still got a chance with that gurgle of yours. You should have seen his face light up.
Encouraged, you mean?
No, he was lighting his pipe and the matchbox caught fire. Anyway, I told him how to capitalize on his voice.
Yes, he seems to be doing very well these days. Has his own radio show, you know.
Sure, that's one of the things I told him to do. Harry, I says, Harry, what you ought to do is have your own radio program, I says, Harry. Own your own package show, I says. And I gave him a piece of wrapping paper to give him a start.
He's in the movies, too.
Certainly, that was another one of my ideas.
And he's got 4 handsome young sons now.
Well, a guy's entitled to some ideas of his own.
It's nice of you to admit Bing did have a little mind of his own, McGee.
Of course, in a way, I could claim that having a family was part of my idea, too. I told him what he ought to do is settle down and raise one. Harry, I says to him, Harry, I says, what you ought to do, Harry, what you ought to do is go over and grab that girlfriend of yours, Harry, and say to her, Mary Ann, I want you to be my wife. And by George, I guess he did.
McGee,
Hmm?
Bing's wife's name is Dixie.
Dixie? Well, how do you like that? He married the wrong gal.
Dearie, will you be terribly hurt if I don't go along with your story?
Go along as far as you like. It's all true, so help me. You know, I'm not one to bend the truth, Arabella, darling.
My name's Molly.
No, I married the wrong one, too.
Oh, now, you don't really mean that, do you, dearie?
Nah. You know me, joshing all the time. Anything for a laugh.
Yeah, that's better. I knew you were just kidding me, Otis.
Shit. Otis? Who's Otis?
Never mind, McGee. That's in the past. Right or wrong, I married you.
Hey, you wouldn't by any chance be referring to Otis Cadwallader, the trombone player in the Peoria High School band?
How'd you ever remember that Otis Cadwallader played the trombone?
Because I played the cornet and Otis sat right behind me. I still get a lump on the back of my head whenever I hear anybody play Tiger Rag. I got a great little mind for details. That's how come Harry Crosby asked me to handle all his business before his brother Everett was born.
Now, wait a minute, dearie. It so happens that Everett is older than Bing. Now, how do you account for that?
My dear, come closer.
Yes?
Don't go telling this around, Snooky, but Everett Crosby is a fictitious character.
What?
Another one of my ideas. Brother Everett was invented as a tax dodge. He's a dreamed-up dependent. And, hey, that reminds me.
Reminds you of what?
I just happened to think where I left the Photoplay magazine. I got it right here in my pocket. Yeah, here it is. See how logical my mind works? Taxes, money, pockets.
Yeah, I'm glad you found it. And, McGee, may I see it?
Now, wait a minute. I'll turn to that stuff about Harry Crosby you mentioned.
You won't have any trouble finding it. Nearly the whole magazine's about Bing.
You're telling me. I had to look for half an hour before I could find a picture of Rita Hayworth in a bathing suit.
Rita who?
Rita Hayworth.
Not Hayes, dearie. It's just Hay.
Take a look at that picture. If that's Hay, it's the best bailing job I ever saw. Say, what's all this hooray and hoorah about Crosby, anyway?
Well, it says right here he won the Photoplay magazine award for the 5th consecutive year.
That boy always was a convincing talker. I always knew he could sell more magazines than anyone else in the field.
Regardless, McGee, he won the poll.
He did?
And I've just been thinking, if you're such a close friend of Bing's, how come the magazine didn't ask you to write a story about him?
What do you mean?
Well, there's stories here about all his friends wrote something about him. Here's one by Bob Hope.
Oh, Hope. Ta-ta.
There's one here by Luella Parsons.
Luella Parsons? Is that the Luella Parsons from Ottawa, Illinois?
No, she's from Dixon.
Oh. Molly, are you sure there's nothing in there that mentions me in connection with Harry's success?
Not a word, not a word. Are you sure the Harry Crosby you're talking about is another fella?
Why, sure, I'm sure.
Well, McGee, inasmuch as you're such a pal of Bing...
Yeah?
Why not get him to sing for you at that big show you got to put on for the Elks Club? After all, you can always use a singer.
I don't know where to get hold of him.
Well, this is Bing's day. He's probably down at the studio. Come on, McGee, let's go down and see your old buddy.
Oh, okay. And, Molly, don't fall all over him now. Don't treat him like a big shot. Remember, he's just an ordinary guy. I knew him when?
When what?
When I knew him. Come on, let's go down.
Say, Bing, isn't that somebody knocking at the door?
Come in.
Well.
Hello, Mr. Crosby.
Well, Molly, this is a surprise. I haven't seen you in years.
Has been a long time. How's the family?
Just fine. How's yours?
Just fine.
Say, you're looking great, Mr. Crosby.
Yeah.
Molly, you're just as pretty as ever, too. You've been married a long time, Molly, haven't you?
Oh, yes, and I have a fine husband.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be darned. Otis Cadwallader. How's the old trombone, Otis?
Trombone?
Uh-oh.
Now, just a darn minute.
Say, Molly, I didn't know you married Otis. I heard you married a fellow named McGee or something.
I did, Mr. Crosby. This is McGee.
Oh, well, this is a pleasure. Glad to meet you, Mr. McGee. What instrument do you play?
Well, the harp, but I didn't bring it tonight because I and it were both feeling a little unstrung. I was afraid of this very thing.
Now, McGee.
What's the man talking about?
The man is talking about you being so upstage. Harry Lillis.
On Harry Lillis to death. Harry Lillis? You say that like it was something a fella couldn't take across the state line.
Look, Si, if there's one thing I can't stand, it's a phony. A guy that gives his old pals the cold chicken liver handshake. Molly can see how you're brushing off a fellow that was mighty important to you in the old days.
Well, I'm sorry, Otis.
McGee is the name.
Dearie, just to save time, why don't you just ask Mr. Crosby to sing for your Elks Club show?
Oh,
whether he remembers you or not.
He remembers me, all right. He's trying to play big shot, and I resent it. Just because he's made a few bucks and everybody in the world knows about him and he's a tremendous success, he thinks he's
He thinks he's what?
Well, that's funny. I can't think of anything he might think he is that he ain't.
But, dearie, it's only that he can't seem to remember you.
Well, that's for true, veritably.
McGee is the name.
All right.
Just for the record, Harry, did you or did you not once sing with an orchestra called Happy Harrigan and his Howling Hounds of Harmony?
Certainly.
Well, anyway, Harry, when you were with the Happy Harrigan and his Howling Hounds of Harmony, isn't it true that you played a one-night stand at a place called Starved Rock, Illinois?
Yeah, but...
Do you remember that beautiful bandstand there in the park?
Oh, yeah, it was gorgeous. Really decked out.
I knew you couldn't forget the way that bandstand was decorated. Now, who do you think tacked the bunting on it?
Michelangelo.
He lived in Dixon. Crosby, it was me in person that tacked the bunting on that bandstand.
Yeah, I remember, and right in the middle of my song. You're the fellow that did that hammering, huh?
That's right.
Well, Woodpecker McGee. Imagine seeing you after all these years. What are you doing now?
Well, I'm chairman of the entertainment committee of the Elks Club out our way.
Mr. Crosby, we may as well get to the point. What McGee really came down here for was to ask you to appear at the big show he's putting on for the Elks Club.
Oh, now,
well, I'd love to be on the show,
Now, just a minute. So I got a big show. There may not be room for Crosby. I got O'Reilly, Callahan, and Murphy, the Japanese acrobats.
They're very good, Mr. Crosby. They work in Kelly Green kimonos.
Oh, sounds flashy.
I got Salvador Di Lorenzo, the knife thrower, and his assistant, No-Nose Jurgen. Following them, I got Fink's Mules, followed by Shapiro's Sparrows. On roller skates, that is.
Of course, got to be.
Then I got some hula girls from Whittier. I'm going to close the show with Rudolph Schmohopper.
Well, he'll never show up. When is your big show, McGee?
Next Monday night.
Oh, I can't make it Monday night, pal.
How come, why not?
Well, they're taking my tonsils out Monday.
Say, I got a friend of mine, Doc Gamble. He takes out stuff. Who's taking your tonsils out, Crosby?
The government, dearie. They're going to bury them at Fort Knox.
I guess you can stay home then, Harry.
Now, McGee.
Well, who wants Crosby without his tonsils?
I was just kidding you, McGee. I'm not going to have my tonsils grabbed at all.
Well, I still don't know if I can use a singer. Of course, I might put you in the kissing booth. I suppose there's a lot of silly women who'd pay $2 to kiss you.
I'd pay $4.
Yeah. Well, if you do, it'll come out of your half of the budget.
Say, McGee, you don't mean you're going to put on a show without letting Molly sing, do you?
Oh, Bing, I haven't sung in years.
I haven't either, but that doesn't stop me. Tell you what, why don't you and Molly do one of your old tunes right now? If I can find a hammer somewhere, I'll accompany you.
Well, I'm game if Molly is. How about it, Snooky?
Okay. Put down that hammer, Bing, and sing with us, will you?
I'll be right in there. Perry, could you give us a little something on the guitar?
What'll we sing, Harry?
Oh, how about Dear Old Girl, or I Had a Dream of You, or...
I Had a Dream, dear.
You got the lead?
I think so. I Had a Dream, dear. If anything happens, we'll go into Tipperary.
Hold that so I can get that little frill in. And I'll tell you my ring bong 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 ring bong 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 my.
What are we paying them King's men?
Sensational, Molly, Fibber and Bing.
Here's a ballad from the new Walt Disney full-length picture, Melody Time. Shades of night are falling as the winds begin to sigh, and the world is silhouetted neath the sky. Blue shadows on the trail, blue moon shining through the trees, and a plaintive wail from the distance comes a-drifting on the evening breeze. Move along, blue shadows, move along. Soon the dawn will come and you'll be on your way. But until the darkness sheds its veil, there'll be blue shadows on the trail. Move along, blue shadows, move along. Soon the dawn will come and you'll be on your way. But until the darkness sheds its veil, there'll be blue shadows on the
McGee, wasn't that beautiful?
Yeah, it was, but I shouldn't admit it. Makes me sound like I'm bragging.
Makes you sound like you're bragging.
Well, I taught the kid everything he knows, didn't I?
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Well, Molly, McGee, it's about time for me to get home and pack my bag for a trip east. I want to catch the Pittsburgh Pirates opening game at Forbes Field next week. April 20th, to be exact.
Oh, that's right. You got into baseball just like I told you to, didn't you?
Never mind, McGee. Bing, how do the Pirates look this year?
Great bunch of fellas, fine spirit. Got a darn good manager, Billy Meyer. We have the loftiest of hopes.
Well, that's mighty nice. Good luck to you.
Well, Harry, if you ever need a pinch hitter for Pittsburgh, call on me. I used to be the flash of the 3-Eye League, you know.
He had 3 eyes then, Bing.
I'll keep you in mind, McGee. Good night, Marion. Good night, Jim.
Good night, Bing.
So long, Harry. You're awful nice to old people.
When the blue of the night meets the gold of the day, someone waits for me.
This is Ken Carpenter welcoming you to Philco Radio Time, produced and transcribed in Hollywood with John Scott Trotter and his orchestra, Judd Collins with the Mares. And for this special Christmas show, we also have with us the famous Bob Mitchell Boys Choir. As is Bing's custom at Christmas time, he opens the program with Adeste Fidelis. He will sing it first in Latin, and then the Bob Mitchell Boys Choir and the Judd Collins vocal group will join him in singing it in English.
Ken, I think it'd be nice if the home folks, the folks listening in all over the world, would join in, too.
Oh, it would indeed.
Gather around, folks, then, wherever you may be, to help us sing this eternal hymn. Adeste Fidelis, Laeti triumphantes, venite, venite, in Bethlehem. Natum videte, regem angelorum, venite adoremus, venite adoremus, venite adoremus, Dominum. And now the Bob Mitchell Boys Choir in the family key. Thank you very much. Now we should like to do the Christmas song. This number was written about 2 years ago. It seems to have become a member in good standing of the old standard Yuletide songs. chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. Offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to
Right about here, John Scott Trotter's jumpy, jingly arrangement of Jingle Bells is in order. The Bob Mitchell Boys Choir and the Rhythmaires are climbing aboard the one-horse open sleigh. I'm sitting up in the driver's seat holding the reins for the most famous sleigh ride of all time, barring, of course, old St. Nick's. I would like to point out that all of us singing in this number are wearing stocking caps and mittens. This is not a particularly difficult feat, and it contributes nothing vocally, but it does get us into the mood. Crack the whip, John Scott, and we're away. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open. Oh, we have a lot of fun. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtails ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Jingle, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. And now, as sweepers with pine boughs step out on the stage to whisk away several mouthfuls of jings that ricochet off the mic, the Philco man steps up with the plum pudding, into which has been baked a short but concise and succinct commercial. I'll bet.
Oh, no, Bing, no commercial tonight.
No commercial?
No.
Well, that's very nice of our friends in Philadelphia, but certainly can you have a Christmas message for 1948?
Well, just the season's greetings to our friends everywhere. On behalf of Philco, its distributors and dealers.
And, of course, a Happy New Year for 1949. Got to throw that in.
Mm-hmm. And from all of us on Philco Radio Time, sincere good wishes for the Yuletide and coming year.
Ah, what an expansive mood we're in this evening. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could always be just like this, Ken?
Oh, happy days.
Jolly Noel from us all. I've sung White Christmas so many times, I almost know it. I guess we could stand one more delivery this year. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your day be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. Just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. May your day be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white.
We now present Charles Tazwell's Christmas play, The Small One, a story for those who like Christmas and small donkeys. The same winter sun that dances on the winter snows up north sprawls indolently at ease in the thick white dust of El Camino del Norte, Old Mexico. A passerby, weary from the heat, has paused to rest in the cool, dripping shade of a pepper tree and has dropped off to sleep.
he's suddenly awakened by the shrill voice of Pablo, aged 10, who stands with bare brown legs wide apart in the center of the road and bitterly addresses a small, discouraged, disreputable donkey.
A donkey? A donkey you call yourself a stupido? Fine animal with 4 stout legs, one on each corner, a most splendid tail to shoo off the flies, and a most handsome head stuck on the front to point the way you're going. I see. And what use do you make of this excellent equipment the good God has given you? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You're a disgrace to all the donkeys of Mexico, of all the world, of all...
Pablo.
See? Oh, buenos dias. I did not know that...
What's all the commotion here, young man? What has the poor beast done that you should be so angry?
But nothing.
Well, then why are you...
Then that is all he wants to do, ever. Here it is but 2 days until Christmas, when a load of wood could be sold in the village to buy gifts and a candle. But does that matter to this one? No, he cares for nothing but nothing.
Well, a donkey's a donkey, Pablo. They're all the same.
But why? Why, of all beasts, should a donkey be so stubborn?
Stubborn? Oh, no, Pablo. That's wrong.
But he's always...
I know. Everyone says they are. They curse them and they belabor their backs with sticks and they call them stupid, but that's because they don't know the truth about little donkeys.
The truth?
Yes. It's really not stubbornness, but pride that makes small donkeys so aloof. No wind, sun, rain, pain, or adversity can touch them. You see, their pride is a shield against all the discomforts man or the elements can offer.
But what has a donkey to be proud of?
Oh, a great deal, Pablo. Bring your small beast over here in the shade, and I'll explain.
Come along, Cupido.
Listen, Pablo, do you hear that? Only a small donkey can make that sound with his hoofs as he walks on the stones of the road. No other beast can do it. Sit down. Sit down, my son.
Si, senor.
Now, as I was saying, people are all wrong about small donkeys. A very long time ago, a great honor came to one of them, an honor so great that it lifted him and all his descendants to an exalted place. A place that you or I or all the world might envy. Ever since that time, every small donkey has been content to stand and drowse in the sun or the shade. For he alone of all animals, of all men, has already fulfilled his destiny.
His destiny, senor?
Yes. You see, once upon a time there was a small donkey. He was 14 unhappy years old, and he had worked hard and long for at least twice 14 masters. He was battered and scarred, and he presented a most distressful appearance. His tail was naught but a piece of limp rope unraveled down at the end. One of his ears stood straight up like a cactus plant, while the other hung drooping like a wilted cabbage leaf. His off hind leg had a decided stiffness.
What was his name?
They called him the Small One. His latest master was a woodcutter who also owned 4 younger and therefore stronger donkeys, but Small One was the special charge of the woodcutter's son. It was the boy who saw to it that Small One always had dry straw for his bed, and that the load of wood to be carried to the town was not too heavy for Small One's aging back. One day the woodcutter called his son to him and said,
Son?
Yes, Father?
I have a task for you to do in the town, son.
A load of wood?
No. I wish you to take this donkey, the one you call the Small One, to a shop just inside the town gate. I have already spoken to the owner. He will give you a piece of silver in exchange for the beast.
You mean... Oh, you don't mean you're going to sell Small One?
He can no longer do his share of the work. Even when carrying half the load the other donkeys carry, his worn-out legs tremble and his sides work like a bellows.
But he'll be strong as the others soon. Will you wait and see? Give him a few weeks.
Enough. An old donkey is of little use. One day he might drop dead on us up in the hills, a total loss. Better to take a piece of silver and say good riddance to the beast. You will start at once. You hear?
Yes. Yes, Father.
The shop you will take him to is the second one on the left as you pass through the gates in town.
The second? But that's the tanner's.
And what of that? The Small One's hide is old, but it will make good leather.
But he's been faithful. He's worked hard. He's done his best. And you can't sell him to the tanners to be killed.
Come now. I'll have no tears. No crying over a miserable donkey. Hurry. Be off with you. And take good care not to lose that piece of silver on the way home.
And so, Pablo, the small boy and the small donkey began their sorrowful journey into town. The boy was heartbroken. He cried for a while. And then he tried desperately to think of some way to save his friend.
The sound of the small one's hoofs on the road seemed to say over and over again, going to the tanner's, going to the tanner's. Suddenly it came to the boy's mind that there was a horse market in the town. If he could sell the small one to some new and kind master, the little donkey would still live, and yet the father would also have his piece of silver. Well, it was early afternoon when the boy and the small one passed through the town gates and down the narrow, twisted streets to the marketplace.
And what am I offering to this fine animal, my friend? American Pie was so famous that not the prince has ever set his back. Strong of limbs, sound of wind. Who'll start the bid at 50? 50! 50 it is! Who'll make it 51? Come, my friends. Are you going to let such an animal go for so paltry a sum?
Please, sir, would you like to buy a fine donkey?
What? What'd you say, boy?
This small donkey, he's for sale. Strong and willing. The price is very cheap, but one piece
No, I don't want to buy a donkey. Be off with you. 60 is the bid. That's more like it. Do I hear 62? Will someone say 62? Come, my friend. You'll never again get such a fine horse for so little cash. Look at the proud head. See the flowing mane.
Excuse me, please. This small donkey's for sale. Would you
What
like
is it you want for it?
This fine animal, he can be bought for only one piece of silver. Isn't that a great saving? They're bidding 60 for the horse, and I know he can't do half the work a small one. Look, he's very
Go
generous.
away. Don't bother me.
Oh, but he's...
Go away, or I'll take a stick to both your backs. And now, my friend, I'm... 83! 83 is the bid! Do I hear more? No! 83 once! 83 twice! Sold for 83 pieces of silver! You've made a fine bargain, my friend. Now, who has the next animal for sale? Step up!
Please, sir, would you try to sell this small donkey?
Go away, boy.
Oh, but he's a very valuable animal. He's not nearly as old as he looks. It's just because he's worked so hard. And you're the one that doesn't stand up straight as a donkey should. Well, that was the fault of a careless master, not his own. He eats very little, and he's terribly strong.
This is a horse market, boy. We've no time to waste on donkeys.
But a small donkey would take such a small time.
All right, my boy. If you insist. My friend, a great bargain I have to offer you. The proud owner terms it a donkey, but it appears to me to be an animated pile of shaking bones.
It is not.
You can see how the moths have been at the hide. And the tail, is it a tail? Or is it the stub of a broom worn out from sweeping the courtyard? A true museum piece, my friends, moldy with age and loose in the joints.
He is not.
But it is not seemly to laugh, my friend, because the owner assures me that this animal is fine enough to share a stall with the king's horses.
Stop! You shan't make fun of him. Maybe he's not as handsome as your animals, but he's better. He's a lot better. Small one deserves to be in a king's stable.
All right, boy. Take your donkey and move along. We've got business to attend to. Hurry up, off with you. Now that we've had our fun and disposed of the king's donkey, my friends, I want to call your attention to these two fine Arab...
And so the boy and the little beast left the marketplace, Pablo. The hours were slipping swiftly by. And the boy knew he must start soon for home. And that he must have the piece of silver to give to his father. He tried stopping people on the street. He inquired from door to door, but no one wanted to buy a small, tired donkey. The sun was sinking fast when he came at last back to the town gates, and he stood before the tanner's door. The boy's face was tear-streaked, and the small one's head drooped so low that his limp ear almost touched the ground. The boy said goodbye to his small friend, and he asked forgiveness for what he had to do, and there was understanding in the little donkey's eyes. And then, just as the boy was lifting the latch of the tanner's door, a voice spoke to him.
My son,
Yes, sir.
I have a great favor to ask. Are you the owner of that small donkey?
Oh, yes, sir.
I have a long journey to make. My wife is not well. I have great need of a strong, gentle animal to carry her safely.
Well, small one's very strong and very trustworthy.
Yes, I can see. Would you sell him to me?
Yes. Oh, yes, sir. But for one piece of silver.
1 piece of silver?
Is that too much, sir?
Too much? Oh, no. A very reasonable price for such a beautiful animal.
He's not very beautiful, but he's good.
Yes, I can see that. I'll be kind to him. I promise you that.
Well, then he'll work so hard to please you.
Here's your piece of silver. Come, small one.
Do you mind if I come as far as the town gates? You see, the small one and
Not
I...
at all, not at all. You'll want to say goodbye to him, of course. You can do that while I see my wife safely on his back. Here we are. Easy, small one.
Goodbye, small one. You must be very faithful, and it isn't forever, you know. When I grow up and earn many pieces of silver, I'll buy you back. And you'll have a fine stable and nothing to do at all but sleep and eat. Won't that be nice, small one?
All right, my son. We're ready to go.
Wait, traveler.
Yes, soldier?
I must make out the record before you can pass through the town gates. Who are you?
My name is Joseph.
And your wife?
They call her Mary.
Your destination?
Bethlehem.
Pass.
Come, small one. Goodbye, son.
Goodbye. Goodbye, small one. Be gentle and sure of foot. And carry her safe to Bethlehem.
So Pablo the small one traveled the many weary miles to Bethlehem. There in a stable which became a king's stable, he saw a king born. A king of men, of centuries, of life, of death. Yes, the small one's tired old eyes saw the shepherds and the wise men who came to pay homage to his small master. And he heard the voices of angels rejoicing, singing the very same notes his hoofs had rung out on the stones of the road. And then it came to pass that all those who had laughed at his ragged coat, his limping gait, and his drooping ear, they all envied the small one, for he was part of a great miracle. It was a long, long time ago, Pablo, my son, but today all small donkeys stand and they dream, especially at Christmas time. They dream of the small one of Bethlehem.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child. Holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace.
This program was produced and transcribed in Hollywood.
This is Ken Carpenter welcoming you to Philco Radio Time, produced and transcribed in Hollywood with John Scott Trotter and his orchestra, Judd Collins for the Mares, and Bing's guests, Peggy Lee and the Mills Brothers.
Peggy Lee and the... Holy smoke, our program tonight ought to be jumpier than a bullfrog on a pogo stick.
And what could be jumpier than that, Bing?
Well, Bob Hope, if you sneak up behind him while he's working with his counterfeiting set.
You don't mean to say that Hope prints counterfeit money?
Well, just enough to pay his writers.
Oh,
Say, Ken, Peggy Lee is here. You're early, Peg.
Hi, Bing, Ken. Was Santa Claus nice to you boys?
Oh, I did great.
I scored lightly. Dixie got me a wonderful electric sleeping bag for pack trips.
An electric sleeping bag, eh?
Yes.
Say, how can you plug in an electric sleeping bag when you're way back in the woods?
No plug. A very clever cat comes with this bag. You stroke its back and generate your own electricity. Wonderful thing.
Goodness, what will they think of in the gift line next?
I don't know, but I hope I blow it. Nice Christmas, though. Ori Kelly come up with some clever neckties, and the kids got me a Schwinn bike.
I got a Schwinn bike, too.
For Christmas?
No, I Schwinn it on a Schwiz show.
You Schwiz on what?
Schwiz.
Oh, Schwiz. Oh.
Well, I've been in radio a long time, and I've ever heard anything as shilly as dish routine.
Yes. I saw. Incidentally, Ken, I heard a lot of talk on Bergen's program and Jolson's show, too, celebrating the fact that you've done 2,000 transcontinental broadcasts.
Well, being a radio announcer is no laughing matter. You know, each broadcast I do takes something out of me.
Takes something out of the listeners, too, kid.
Here, how about a song from you and Peg,
Oh, Ken, we got scads of music tonight. We open with, rather extravagantly, with a musical Berlitz, Quanta la Gusta, and we're away.
Quanta la gusta, la gusta, la gusta, la gusta, la gusta, la gusta, la gusta. Quanta la gusta, la gusta, la gusta, la gusta, la gusta, la gusta.
We gotta get going.
Where are we going and what are we gonna do?
Oh, we're on our way to somewhere, the six of us and you.
Oh, what do we see there? Who's gonna be there? What'll be the big surprise?
Stand by, there may be senoritas with dark and flashing eyes.
We're on our way. Pack up your pack.
And if we stay, we won't come back.
How can we go? We haven't got a dime.
But we're going and we're gonna have a happy time.
Now someone said they just got back from somewhere. A friend of mine that I don't even know.
He said there's lots of laughs if we can get there.
If that's the case,
that's the case.
That's the place.
That's the place.
The place we want to go.
I'll take a train.
You take a train.
You take a boat.
Go on a boat.
I'll take a plane.
Off we go.
You ride the goat.
What? We don't care. We'll either walk or climb.
But we're going and we're gonna have a happy time.
Have a happy time.
Very nice, Bing, Peg, and all. Simply terrific.
Well, thanks, Ken. It appears your attitude for 1949 is going to be one of well-directed flattery, as usual.
Flattery, nothing, Bing. I'm serious.
Yes, I know. Always about here in the program, the love light for Philco comes into your eyes.
Bing, have you seen Philco's new table radio phonograph? Isn't it beautiful?
Oh, it's gorgeous. The first time I saw one, my heart went pity-pat. I thought it was Rita Hayworth.
I have one at home that reminds me of Betty Grable.
Oh, you're so lucky. Folks, if you want Rita Hayworth or Betty Grable in your home, you go to your nearest Philco dealer and ask for Philco's gorgeous new table radio phonograph.
Yes, sir. Let's say, Bing, a table model.
Yeah.
Suppose somebody listening doesn't have a table.
Better yet, they can hold Rita or Betty on their lap. More affection and...
Oh, of course. Why didn't I think of that?
I'll bet you did. Ken, would you care to go into detail about this model, or have all those thousands of commercials you've done left you speechless?
Well, Bing, I am a little weak, but I think I have the strength to press on.
Brave boy, Ken. I shall stand at your side with oxygen, plasma, and your scrapbook.
Bing, you think of everything. Here goes. Folks, Philco's new table model radio phonograph has sleek, trim lines, a dial you love to touch, and the most gorgeous voice on radio or records. This lovely lilt is due to a specially designed Philco tone chamber, brand new in a table model and matched to a special speaker. So at table model price, you get the range and richness of more expensive consoles. It's versatile, too. Plays up to 12 regular records automatically
plus the sensational new long-playing kind, and gives you brilliant radio performance. It's tops in table radio phonographs from Philco, the leader.
Mr. Tubby Hakmunis Garin III, musical contact man for Paramount Studios, has threatened to eliminate himself if I don't sing the song he is currently trying to bring before the American public. I don't want Tubby to depart to the happy song plugging ground. Also, it's a very nice song, so here it is.
Don't whisper things to me you don't mean, for words deep down inside can be seen by the night. The night has 1,000 eyes, and it knows a truthful heart from one that lies. The romance may have called in the past. My love for you will be everlasting and bright, as bright as the starlit sky, and this wondrous night that has 1,000 eyes. I've lived my life walking through a dream, for I knew I would find this moment supreme, a night of bliss and tender sighs, in the smiling down of 1,000 eyes. The night has 1,000 eyes.
Mike Todd has a new Broadway musical that's a big hit. I'm glad, but I'm not surprised, because with Bobby Clark in it and such songs as the one Peggy Lee brings us now, it's only understandable. Peggy?
I got lucky in the rain one day when I had nothing to do for an hour. I walked around in a shower. I had reason to complain. One moment I was sadly in need of a song. Next moment you came along. Then the heavens smiled at me. My heart said, how lucky can you be? Things like that you can't explain. I only know that I met the love of my life when I got lucky in the rain. Things like this you can't explain. I only know that I met the love of my life when I got lucky, lucky in the
Swell, Peggy. Swell. Now, if you'd like to take 5 to dry off, I'll introduce our next bundle of talent for this evening. Years ago, this fine group was billed as 4 boys and a guitar. Well, the guitar hasn't aged, but the boys are now men. It goes for me, too. But here, as great as ever, the Mills Brothers. Welcome to Philco Radio Time, gents.
Nice to be with you again, Bing.
Harry, it's been a long time, hasn't it? What do you got on fire for us tonight?
Well, could you stand a little of 2 blocks down and turn to the left?
Oh, I could stand a bunch of it. I'll wait for you under the lamppost with some ribs and juice, huh?
If you've a hankering to have a ball, and you can find your way down to the hole, just 2 blocks down, and turn to the left on the right-hand side of the street. You'll hear piano played by Bessie Green, a country spare ribs from the chef's cuisine. Just 2 blocks down, and turn to the left on the right-hand side of the street. They're not responsible for personal happiness unless you join in the spirit of the night. The wine ain't rare, the folks ain't square, and you'll be glowing like a neon light. Give my regards to Mr. Henry Lee. He is the owner of the place you see. So get along and don't be nervous. Henry will give you special service. 2 blocks down and turn to the left on the right-hand side of the street. 2 blocks down and turn to the left on the right-hand side of the street. 2 blocks down and turn to the left on the right-hand side of the street. They're not responsible for personal happiness unless you join in the spirit of the night. The wine ain't rare, the folks ain't square, and you'll be glowing like a neon light. Give my regards to Mr. Henry Lee. He is the owner of the place you see. So get along and don't be nervous. Henry will give you special service. 2 blocks down and turn to the left on the right-hand side of the street.
Let me back. Ah, it's quite a thing, Mills Brothers, and thanks. But don't cut out, because now that I got you here, I want to barber a ballad with you a little later on the show. At the Mo, Peggy Lee and I are ready with the current hits. Hey, we're the busy ones, aren't we, tonight? Peggy?
I'll say, kid.
Well, let's go. John.
Each time I see a crowd of people, just like a fool I stop and stare. It's really not the proper thing to do, but maybe you'll be there.
I go out walking after midnight along the lonely thoroughfare. It's not the time or place to look for you, but maybe you'll be there. You said your arms would always hold me.
You said your lips were mine alone to kiss. Now after all those things you told me, how can it end like this? Someday if all my prayers are answered, I'll hear a footstep on the stairs. With anxious heart I'll hurry to the door, and maybe you'll be there, and maybe you'll be there.
Thank you, folks, and thanks, Peggy. And now, after months of saving string, we have hoarded enough hemp to make a string trio, which we call upon at this time. This trio is composed of Joe Venuti on the violin. The guitar is by Perry Bodkin, the Eddie Peabody of New Albany, Indiana. And slapping the bass is Phil Stevens of Atlanta, Georgia. This group comes to you absolutely unrehearsed in a fine arrangement of T for Two, which calls for many tricky and difficult changes of tempo. How about you starting it, Joe?
Well, Big, let somebody else start it. I don't want to get the blame.
He's only ribbing, folks. This is a fine thing and really a hunk of stuff. Go, Joe. That was great, Joe. You were definitely the Spade Cooley of South Philadelphia. I want to tell you, Joe, you certainly teed off on T for Two.
Well, Bing, I think we did pretty good, considering that none of us ever drank a cup of tea in our lives.
I'll make book on that. Now, if you'll excuse me, the Mills brothers and I like to blend in some ballads suitable for the barber shop. What's the first one there, Harry? I'll tell you my dream.
Right, Bing?
Well, you go and I'll come in.
I had a dream, dear. You had one, too. Mine was the best dream. It was of you. Come, sweetheart, tell me now is the time.
Don't you boys ever run out of wind?
Tell me your dream, and I will tell you mine. You tell me your dream, and I
shining bright along the Wabash. From the field there comes the breath of new moon air. Through the sycamore, the candlelights are gleaming on the banks of the Wabash. Oh, the moonlight's fair tonight along the Wabash. From the field there comes the breath of new mown hay. Through the sycamores, the candle lights are gleaming on the banks of the Wabash far away. Oh, the moon was shining bright along the Wabash. Oh, Wabash. From the field there comes a breath of new morning. Through the sycamore, the candlelights are gleaming brightly on the banks of the Wabash far away. On the banks of the Wabash far away.
That was really swell.
Thanks, Ken. Now, do you have a brief New Year's Eve message from our sponsor? Brief, that is.
I shall be, Bing. And in brief, folks, Philco gives you a sensational new idea for the new year. On the level, something new has been added to recorded music for 1949, and it leaves the conventional phonograph as dead as the dodo bird. Now, you wouldn't buy a 1949 automobile without four-wheel brakes, would you? Of course not. So don't buy any 1949 radio phonograph unless it plays the sensational 45-minute record. Your Philco dealer will be glad to give you a free demonstration of the gorgeous new Philco consoles that play both regular records automatically and the new non-breakable long-playing kind. For tone, performance, convenience, there's never been anything like them. And you couldn't invest your Christmas cash in any gift that'll give you more solid pleasure or lasting beauty. Get yours now on convenient terms. And for luxurious listening, accept nothing less than a Philco, famous for quality the world over.
Here's John Scott Trotter's arrangement of a new song, Faraway Places, recorded this recently for Decca along with the Ken Darby Vocal Ensemble. Faraway places with a strange sound of names, far away over the sea. Those faraway places with a strange sound of names are calling, calling me. Going to China or maybe Siam, I want to see for myself those faraway places I've been reading about in a book that I took from a shelf.
I start getting restless whenever I hear the whistle of a train. I pray for the day I can get underway and look for those castles in Spain. They call me a dreamer. Well, maybe I am, but I know that I'm burning to see those faraway places with the strange sounding names calling me. Calling me.
Well, it's about time to move along now and make way for some fine shows to follow. But before ducking out...
Say, Bing, can I butt in here?
What you got, Carp? Another commercial?
Oh, no, not this time, Bing. It's a telegram. It reads, Dear Bing, you've been awarded the National Safety Council's Green Cross of Merit for the part you played in the success of our safe winter driving campaign last winter. And it's signed, Ned H. Dearborn, President of the National Safety Council.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dearborn, on behalf of our whole gang. And folks, watch that driving this winter. Now my thanks to the Mills brothers, Peggy Lee and Joe Venuti for dropping in tonight.
Who's with you next week, Bing?
Next week, Peggy Betty Grable, who looks like Philco's new table radio phonograph, will be here.
Well, have you got a table, or are you going to hold her on your lap?
Also, Harry James will be here.
Gee, what do you mean?
Good night, folks, and a Happy New Year from Philco and all of us. Thank you.
This program was produced and transcribed in Hollywood by Bill Morrow and Murdo McKenzie. Tune in to Philco Radio Time next week and hear Bing Crosby, John Scott Trotter and his orchestra, the Rhythmaires, and Bing's guests, Betty Grable and Harry James. And in 1949, keep your eye on your Philco dealer for the greatest developments in radios and phonographs from Philco, the leader. Welcoming you to Philco Radio Time, produced and transcribed in Hollywood with John Scott Trotter and his orchestra, directed tonight by Bing Crosby, Judd Conlon's Rhythmaires and Bing's guests, Betty Grable, the queen of the screen, and Harry James, the king of the trumpet. And now here's Bing Crosby, the emperor of waltz.
Emperor of Waltz. Who do you think I am, Arthur Murray?
Oh, no, Arthur Murray's the Sultan of Samba. You see, Bing, you made a picture called The Emperor of Waltz.
Oh, yes. That's the last one I made with Barry Fitzgerald.
No, Bing. In The Emperor of Waltz, you played opposite Joan Fontaine.
Oh, I thought Barry was awfully sweet in that one.
Bing, you must know who you're working with in a picture.
Oh, I don't know. A lot of actors don't know who they're working with in a picture.
Give me a for instance.
Well, Trigger, Lassie, Maxie Rosenblum, me.
You imagine making a picture with Joan Fontaine and not even knowing it.
Oh, the motion picture industry is so confusing. I'm going to stick to radio. In radio, everything goes so smoothly. You're the same person. You do the same thing every week on the same station. Unless you switch to another network.
By the way, Bing, do you think Bob Hope will switch networks?
Oh, no, they don't even want him to switch to Calvert. Now, before somebody takes a switch to us, let's get into tune here. The Rhythmaires have glided up alongside, giggling and wiggling and as usual, and tonight they have that orchidaceous look. Kids, let's do a song here, huh? Very seasonal little thing. Go, John.
The snow is snowing and the wind is blowing, but I can weather the storm. What do I care how much it may storm? I got my love to keep me warm. I can't remember a worse December. Just watch those icicles fall. What do I care if the icicles fall? I've got my love to keep me warm. Off with my overcoat, off with my gloves. Don't need no overcoat, I'm burning with love. My heart's on fire, the flame grows higher, so I will weather the storm. What do I care how much it may storm? I got my love to keep me warm.
Off with your overcoat, off with your glove. Don't need no overcoat.
I'm burning with love. My heart's on fire. The flame grows higher. So I will weather the storm. What do I care how much it may storm? I've got my love to keep me warm.
So the snow is snowing and the wind is blowing.
I've got my love to keep me warm.
That was as lovely as it was lively, Bing and kids.
Well, this is our first show of the new year, Ken. We've got to have a lively takeoff.
Sure, but when do we go into a slump?
Well, we're in it right now, unless you've got something very interesting and clever to say.
Well, as a matter of fact, I have, Bing. Did you know that 1949 is the 100th anniversary of the invention of the safety pin?
No. You little lifesaver, you.
You mean I'm clever that I've got a hole in my head?
A little of each. Say, this is the 100th anniversary of the safety pin, huh?
That's right, Bing. It was invented in 1849.
I wonder what held them up before that. Scotch tape?
I wouldn't know. I suppose I could ask Al Jolson. He was around then.
True, but 1849 was the year of the gold rush, too. Jolson was pretty busy then.
Was Jolie in it?
Started it.
Incidentally, Bing, you know something that'll rival the gold rush?
What, Ken?
Well, the rush of people going to their dealers to grab those new Philco table radio phonographs.
I know. But they won't trample me. I was out early this morning. I got mine. It's a beauty.
it's not only a beauty, Bing. It's the world's finest performing table radio phonograph. Just compare it.
Well, I'm wise to the whole setup, Ken, but I'm sure our friends listening in would like to hear more.
Okay, Bing. We'll all hear plenty more this month. January practically belongs to Philco. Your Philco dealer will be loaded with special money-saving offers on Philco radio phonographs, including the greatest table model you ever bet an ear to. It's a powerhouse radio. It has an automatic changer for conventional records. And to top everything, it gives you the most sensational performance on the new 45-minute records. Spelled out, that means you get the finest tone ever achieved in recorded music, plus lots more music for less work. So keep your eye on your Philco dealer all this month. Watch your newspaper for special announcements. And get in early on your opportunity to own the greatest phonograph achievement of the century from Philco, the leader.
Here's a tune that's still enjoying a furious flurry of popularity, Slow Boat to China. The rhythmaires are packed. We might all hit it once again before the boat sails.
I'd love to get you on a slow boat to China, all to myself alone. Get you and keep you in my arms evermore. Leave all your lovers weeping on a faraway shore. Out on the briny with the moon big and shiny, melting your heart of stone. Baby, I'd love to get you on a slow boat to China, all to myself alone. Out on the briny with the moon big and shiny, melting your heart of stone. I'd love to get you on a slow boat to China, all to myself alone. On a slow boat to China, all to myself alone.
Thank you very much. Say, Ken.
Yeah, Bing?
I got to duck out for a while now.
Duck out?
Yeah, I got a little work to do. I have to go over and see Betty Grable.
Well,
So, if you'll...
unless you're taking that slow boat and have to shovel coal all the way, you can hardly call that work.
Well, I have to see Harry James, too.
Oh, then it is work.
I'm going to talk to Betty about a little play we're going to do here on the Philco show. A highly dramatic scene.
High drama?
Mm-hmm.
You and Betty going to work on wires, are you?
Oh, never mind. Ken, the real reason I'm going over to the Harry James manse is to unload a horse on him. You know, Betty and Harry are crazy about racehorses.
Oh, yes. I understand they have a very fine stable.
Well, if I unload this nag of mine on them, their hooper rating will drop like a cheap drawbridge.
Bing, I thought you got rid of all your horses.
Well, I thought so, too, but I was out in the barn the other day, and I heard snores coming from under a stack of hay, so I thought it was Brother Everett out there laid up for the winter or something. I took a pitchfork, and I gave it a nudge, and it whinnied.
Oh, then it was Everett.
No, it was a horse.
Well, I'll be darned. How long do you suppose that horse been laying there?
Well, I don't know, but he wouldn't let me lead him out of the barn until I dressed up like General Sherman.
Bing, you'll never sell a nag that old to Harry James. He's no chump.
Yeah, but I found out he's got bad eyes.
Bad eyes?
Yeah.
Why didn't he marry Marjorie Maine?
Well, he's... Just lucky, I guess. Besides, I got a lot going for me. It's a very dark night tonight.
Oh, no. You won't fool Harry James. The first thing you'll do is check your horse's age. What happens if he wants to count his teeth?
We can count them. The horse has a full set. I got them right here in my pocket.
Well, personally, I don't think you're going to get away with this deal.
I won't. Just stand by. Where's John Scott Trotter?
Right here, Bing.
Now, John, you all set, aren't you? You know just what to do.
Yeah, I'm all set, Bing. You think I can play the part?
Now, wait a minute. What is all this anyway? What's going on, John?
This is not John tonight, Ken. Allow me to present Colonel J. Fred Miles of Louisville, Kentucky. The famous horse breeder.
I've been picking horses for now under 40 years. And that's a lot harder than picking tobacco, because horses is heavier.
Yes. You don't think so? Just try putting a horse in your pipe, sir.
You mean you're going to palm off Trotter as an authority on horses?
Sure. You see, Ken, I anticipate having a little trouble selling my bag of bones to Betty and Harry. So here's what I'm going to do. After I've haggled them a while, Trotter's going to come in and insist upon buying the horse for his stable.
Oh, no.
Well, naturally, James will think the horse has hidden potentialities, and he'll insist upon buying it himself. This is what you call a southern shill we're working on.
I know.
Now, we'll graciously allow him to do it, and then we scoot with the loot before the nag starts to sag.
Bing Crosby, I'm surprised at you. And you too, John. This is trickery of the lowest sort.
Oh, face life, Portia. Come on. This goes on all the time. Why, there's an old saying that all is fair in love, war, and horse trading.
That's right, Yankee. Where you been? Under a rock somewhere?
Yeah, come on, boy. Come on. Well, I got to run along now and drive my horse over to the James stable.
Oh, where is the nag?
He's out in my car. Well, you got the address now, Colonel. Don't forget to make an impressive entrance.
I've been making impressive entrances for now on to 40 years.
And look, choose some lifesavers. I want you to smell of mint. See you later, Ken.
So long, you scoundrels.
Oh, now, whoa there, steady. Take it easy there, Flea Biscuit. I'll turn on the radio and get a little music for you.
Greeting, all you hep cats and hep kitties. This are your favorite disc jockey, Yamashita Takawahaya, bebopping your way with another barrel of bouncing biscuits. So hot. Looty tooty.
Boy, this Philco really reaches out and pulls in the station.
First record request is from a bunch of boys over at Ikubu's Lickshaw Little Garage. But before we play record, I have a special message for Hokkaido Hashimura somewhere in Philippine Islands. Hokkaido, come home. It's all over.
Come on, play a record.
And now for a record. Boys at Garage would like to hear Bing Crosby. Bing Crosby. Bing Crosby. All the time, Bing Crosby. Fool! This is Harry James for change.
Harry James?
This James recording of Cottontail. It jumps like hot Tojo stick. Oh, looty-tooty, Harry.
Boy was right. That really did jump. Now, look, Flea Biscuit, Harry James is going to be your new daddy. Betty Grable's going to be your mama.
Oh, Betty.
Yes, Harry?
I thought you said Crosby was coming over.
Well, he is, and for goodness sake, when Bing gets here, don't start talking horses.
Why not?
Well, he's coming over to rehearse.
He's really going to sing if I can peddle him a certain horse that I know of.
Well, what horse is that?
Count Plotsky?
Count Plotsky has been dead for a week.
He isn't dead. He's just lying out in the barn. He gets up for meals.
Well, you're not going to unload that bag of bones on him.
Now, look, Betty, just let me take Bing out in the yard and show him Count Plotsky.
Well, how can he see the horse in the dark?
Well, I don't want him to see the Count. Just let him feel him.
But Plotsky doesn't even feel like a horse.
He does now. I had I.J. Fox make a fur girdle for him.
Well, good luck to you, but I don't think you'll ever fool Bing. He knows more about horses than Gorgeous George knows about television.
Well, I hear Bing's eyes aren't so good lately. They tell me he doesn't even know who's playing opposite him in a picture.
Now, don't run down Crosby's eyes. I think they're beautiful. Why, gee, they're like two sparkling little pools of laundry bluing.
I've seen his eyes when they look like two pools of borscht.
Now, Bing's eyes are always beautiful and blue.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey, but gee, you never talk about my eyes.
Oh, Harry, your eyes are beautiful, too. But you've been blowing high notes on that trumpet so long that they're beginning to bug out a bit.
Trumpet nothing. I defy any man to live with you and not have his eyes bug out. A bit.
Oh, now that's real sweet, dear.
Mm-hmm.
But really, you didn't used to have trouble with your eyes.
No.
I mean, didn't you used to have trouble with your eyes?
Never. They've always been perfect.
Then how come you proposed to Marjorie Main?
Oh. That was just a gag.
You're just saying that because she turned you down.
Yeah, well, she turned down Ali Khan, too.
Anyway, Harry, I wouldn't try to sell Bing a horse tonight.
Well, it's too late now. I've got Count Plotsky tied for the front porch. Uh-oh, that must be Bing now.
It can't be Count Plotsky. He's too weak to ring a bell.
Come in, come in.
Hi, Betty and Harry.
Hi, Bing.
Hi, Bing.
Hey, it's quite a doormat you got there. Looks like a horse.
Is he laying down again? Say, Bing, before you start rehearsing, I'd like to talk to you about something.
Oh, okay, but before you talk to me about something, I'd like to talk to you about something.
Yeah? What?
A horse.
A horse?
Mm-hmm.
Say, are you still interested in horses?
I am tonight. Mm-hmm. In fact, I know where you can pick one up.
Oh, then you knew that was a horse laying out there.
Say, step out here on the porch, Bing. I want to show you something.
Oh, what do you want to show me?
Just the finest little animal you ever wiped your feet on.
You want to show me a horse?
Sure.
Well, I can't look at a horse now. It's too dark.
Well, you can feel this one and know how good he is. You don't have to see him. Come on. There you are. Just feel those withers.
Say, not bad. He's pretty fat.
Unhand me, sir.
Well, who are you?
I'm Colonel J. Fred Miles of Louisville, Kentucky. Can't you smell the mint?
Yeah, but what do you want?
I want this horse. Don't sell him, Mr. Crosby.
Quiet, Nix. That's their horse.
Oh, where's yours?
Over there. Say, kid, step over here to my car. I want to show you a real horse.
Now, just a minute, Bing. I thought you came over here to rehearse with my wife.
Well, I can pedal a horse, too.
Oh, no. You rehearse, and I'll do the horse pedaling.
Just look at that horse. Look at the coat on him.
The coat's okay, but the pants don't match.
Yeah, well, I think your horse is a phony, and so is the colonel. I don't even believe he's from the South.
Why, sir, I'm from further south than Donna Shore.
Yes, the colonel comes from farther south than Cape Kaiser, and Kay's from the canal zone. All right, Harry, you want to buy a flea biscuit or not?
Buy that beast? Why, look at him. He can't even walk.
Well, he's trying.
Yeah, but every leg is going in a different direction.
Well, he sneezed this afternoon. I gave him a 4-way cold tablet.
like the new Hudson. You have to step down to get on him.
If you ever pulled the Band-Aids off this nag, he'd fall apart.
Those aren't Band-Aids, they're travel stickers.
This horse has been around.
Well, I'm so burned up about this whole thing, I'm not even going to let Betty go on your radio show.
Ah, too late now, Fuzzlip. Too late. Whole thing is transcribed, and you're on it, too.
Well, if I'm on the show, you'll have to pay me.
Okay, to show you I'm a sport, I'll pay you. Here, take Flea Biscuit.
Well, and to show you I'm a sport, I'll take him.
Oh, that's too much, Bing. You've got some change coming. Here, take Count Parsley.
Oh, you're sweet. Thanks. Well, as long as we're all happy now, how about you singing something, Betty?
Well, would you like What Did I Do?
Oh, I sure would. That's the number from When My Baby Smiles at Me. One of the best musicals I've ever seen. You and Dan Daly were really outstanding in that one.
Dan Daly is always good.
Oh. Not going home tonight, huh? Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Betty Grable will sing What Did I Do from the 20th Century Fox production, When My Baby Smiles at Me. The orchestra is under the direction of Colonel Fred J. Miles of Louisville, Kentucky. Take it, Fred.
What did I do? What in the world did I do? What started the fuss? What started the brawl? What happened to us for no reason at all? In no uncertain terms, you told me we were through, baby. What did I do? What in the world did I do? What did I say? What in the world did I say? Did I say you're wrong? Did I say I'm right? Oh, what was the matter that Saturday night? For you just up and you just wandered far away, baby. What did I say? What in the world did I say? That's so fine. How do you do? How do you do a thing like that to me? That's so fine. Kettle of fish. Oh, how I wish and wish and wish that you would come back to me immediately. Where did you go? Where in the world did you go? Oh, I'm broken bent. Say, where did you went? Oh, you left my heart with a terrible dent. I'm in confusion, in conclusion. I'm dying to know, baby, what did I do? What did I say? And where, oh, where in the world did you go?
Thanks, Betty.
Very bluesy, Betty. And, folks, here's a little tip. You'll never sing the blues at your Philco dealers. January is the big Philco month. Your chance to set yourself up at important savings with the greatest invention in the history of recorded music. A new Philco radio phonograph that plays the new 45-minute record. Here's one parlay that can't possibly miss. With your Philco, you get tone and performance that are out of this world. With a long-playing record, you cash in on the newest idea in phonograph music. Figure it out for yourself. You got a non-breakable record that gives you all the music of a 6-record album on just one 12-inch disc. That's a double dividend right there. It's not only 6 times easier to handle, but think how much record storage space it saves you. And while we're on the subject of saving, don't overlook the dollars you save on the price of the record itself. Just compare it, and you'll catch on quick. So visit your Philco dealer now for a free demonstration of the phonograph invention of the century. From Philco, famous for quality the world over.
Those of us who live in the shadowy half-world of popular music are well aware of New York's contributions to this season's song scene. One of the better plums to spring from the Broadway show shops is this ballad from Ray Bolger's show. My darling, I've wanted to call you my darling for many and many a day. My darling,
I fluttered and fled like a starling. My courage just melted away. Now all at once you've kissed me, and there's not a thing I'm sane enough to say, except my darling, get used to that name of my darling. It's here to stay. Now all at once you've kissed me, and there's not a thing I'm sane enough to say, except my darling, get used to that name of my darling. It's here to stay.
That was lovely, Bing.
Thanks, Betty. Let me thank you and Harry again for Count Plotsky.
I hope you'll be good to him, Bing.
Oh, I always try to be nice to old folks, Harry. You take care of Flea Biscuit.
Oh, we haven't got him anymore.
Haven't got him. What did you do with him?
Sold him.
What? Who'd be sucker enough to buy that beetle?
I've been buying beetles for now under 40 years.
Say, Bing, who's going to be with you next week?
Well, next week, Betty, Colonel Johnny Mercer is coming down.
Say, Johnny writes good songs.
Oh, sings good, too. And Peggy Lee will also join in the merrymaking.
She sings wonderful songs.
Oh, she writes them, too.
What do you do?
I deal in horses. Good night, Betty.
Good night, Bing.
So long, Bing.
So long, Harry. Good night, folks, and thanks.
This program was produced and transcribed in Hollywood by Bill Morrow and Murdo McKenzie. Tune in to Philco Radio Time next week and hear Bing Crosby, John Scott Trotter and his orchestra, the Rhythmaires, and Bing's guests, Johnny Mercer and Peggy Lee. And remember...
Where the blue of the night meets the gold of the day, someone waits for me.
This is Ken Carpenter welcoming you to Philco Radio Time, produced and transcribed in Hollywood with John Scott Trotter and his orchestra, Judd Collins, Rhythmaires, and Bing's guests, Johnny Mercer, the songbird from Savannah, and Peggy Lee, the North Dakota nightingale. And now here's Bing Crosby, the Spokane Sparrow.
Spokane Sparrow. Are you referring to my voice or my love for horses? You can't wait long, you know.
Bing, what I meant is that the sparrow is such a universally known bird, and so is your voice.
I'll have research department check on this. At the Mo, Ken, the Rhythmaires, and your old sparrow are about to chirp. A song called The Bluebird Singing in My Heart. For this number, Mr. Trotter conducts with a baton fashioned from a chunk of cuttlebone. John?
mind at all, la 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 la. When I get your call, la 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 la. There's a bluebird singing in my heart. Let the clouds hang low over the trees. Let the winds that blow go where they please. When you're near, I hear melody start. There's a bluebird singing in my heart. I want to dance in the street and say to people I meet, she's mine, all mine. I want to shout to the sun, say come out to the sun, 'cause it's time to shine. So when things go wrong, la 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 la, I still have my song, la 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 la. Since you came along, la 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 la, there's a bluebird singing in my heart.
Let the raindrops fall, I don't mind at all.
Since you came along, la 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 la, there's a bluebird singing in my heart.
La 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 la. Very good.
Continental flavor,
Yes.
hasn't it? Wonderful.
Mighty nice, Canaries. You too, Mr. Sparrow. Great big fistful of birdseed to you all.
And a fistful of birdseed right back at you, boy. What's the big news tonight, Ken?
Oh, haven't you heard?
What?
January belongs to Philco.
Oh, isn't this just keen? Philco has snagged January, huh?
Yeah.
Personally, Ken. Personally planned, personally Ken. This is Sanskrit or something, I don't know. But I don't see why Philco didn't pick up a nice warm month, like July.
Ah, because January means big buying opportunities.
Bargains, huh?
Oh, yes, indeed. Big, wonderful offers on Philco radios and radio phonographs.
This is terrific news, Ken, and it should cause a thunderous stampede to all our Philco dealers.
Oh, stampede is right.
Join the rush, folks, but don't worry, I will personally supply Band-Aids to anyone who is crushed in the rush.
Thank you, young Dr. Malone.
I must dash to surgery now, Ken, and blow up my rubber gloves with helium.
Good.
I'm performing a tonsillectomy on a giraffe. I go.
Well, I'll stand by with the anesthetic, Bing. And folks, dash over to your Philco dealer now and cash in on the big money-saving opportunities this month. Here's plasma for your pocketbook, a windfall for your wallet. Don't miss these blue tag specials on brand new Philco radios, including new 1949 Philco radio phonographs that play the sensational 45-minute record. They're your buy of the month with the newest and finest features of your lifetime from Philco, the leader.
Just raising all kinds of excitement on Broadway these days is the bubbling musical As the Girls Go. Jimmy McHugh and Harold Adamson have provided a score that boasts, among other items, this choice click.
I got lucky in the rain one day when I had nothing to do for an hour. I walked around in a shower. I had reason to complain. One moment I was sadly in need of a song. Next moment you came along. Then the heavens smiled at me. My heart said, how lucky can you be? Things like this you can't explain. I only know that I met the love of my life when I got lucky in the rain. Things like this you can't explain. I only know that I met the love of my life when I got lucky in the rain.
Our charming guest tonight is certainly no stranger to any frequent followers of our Philco festivals, for by now she's more a member of our family than just a casual dropper-inner. This, of course, can only mean the beauteous Chesterfield chanteuse, Miss Peggy Lee.
Hi, Bing.
Good evening, Peggy, and how are things going over in the Chesterfield show?
Oh, just fine, Bing. Cigarettes, anyone?
Take a pack of Philcos. What's your big number tonight, Peg?
Well, I thought I might go a little torchy tonight, Bing, and sing Trouble is a Man.
In that case, I shall light your torch and sob softly in the corner while you sing.
Well, if you're going to sob, please sob on key, huh?
This will be strictly contrapuntal sobbing tonight. John Scott, Miss Lee awaits your downbeat.
Trouble is a man who loves me no more. Trouble is a man I'll always adore. To say about him, still I hate a day without him. Why should he have to be the one? Why only trouble is a man who's handsome and tall, so tall. Trouble is a man who's for himself, and that's all. Trouble
Oh, that was sheer enchantment, Peg. Now go dry your eyes and report back later. The moment we move on to the second guest to grace our garret this evening, he's an old friend, sometime recording associate of mine, the composer of several score song smashes, and the verse and chorus chanter of no small renown. Folks, here's George's peachy music maker, Johnny Mercer.
Well, thanks very much for that peachy introduction, old Pitt. Old Pitt? Sounds like you're introducing Fuzzy Knight.
He couldn't make it. Anyway, Johnny, have you heard the big news?
No, what happened? Did Hope fall on his nose and spear a family of gophers?
No, but that's a pretty picture. Gopher shish kebab. The big news, Johnny, is that January belongs to Philco.
Philco can have it. As far as I'm concerned, January's about as useless as a bib on a hog.
Say, Johnny, tell me, you've been away from Georgia a long time. How do you keep your southern geechee drawl up so well?
Why, it's easy. I go to Phil Harris's dentist. He cleans my teeth with a southern toothbrush.
A southern toothbrush?
Yeah, candied yam on a stick.
Well, look at him.
Besides, I go back down Georgia every Christmas. There's nothing like spending the holidays on the old family plantation.
Oh, where is your old family plantation, John?
Well, it's in Savannah, the parking lot of the DeSoto Hotel.
Yes, I've heard of your place, Dent Fender Farms.
All of us Mercers got together for a lovely Christmas dinner in the back seat of a new Hudson.
What do you raise on your plantation beside the prices after 6 o'clock?
Oh, the usual thing, cotton and coffee.
Coffee in Georgia?
Certainly, we grow cotton and coffee in the same field. Haven't you ever heard of mercerized coffee? Yeah, it was invented by my great-grandfather, Colonel Silex Mercer.
Silex?
Well, I got an aunt named Percolator and a cousin named Drip.
Well, I bet you had a wonderful Christmas Eve with the whole family sitting around the fireplace waiting for Santa Claus. Now, what's the advantage of raising coffee and cotton together?
Well, with cotton and the coffee, you don't need cream.
Well, nothing quite like a big hot cup of fuzzy coffee.
Oh, we don't serve it in a cup. It comes rolled up in blue paper. You just squeeze out whatever you want.
What are they going to think of next?
I don't know, but I hope we don't have to talk about
it. Me too. Anyway, John, it's nice to have you here on the show with us. I suppose we should sing a song or something now, shouldn't we?
Well, it beats just standing here.
How about us doing Small Fry? That doesn't go back too far, does it?
No, but we should have some new words.
Well, then let's give the people some new words. We can do that.
I'm ready if you are. Shall we go?
Let's do it. Small Fry, shall we revive this old creation?
Well, I don't mind.
Small Fry, you know there's a brand new generation.
My. You mean that we're before their time?
Why, they think that bing is a noise that you make with a chime. Small Fry, there's been a world war, partner.
Ah, but Tall Fry, there's also been Ava Gardner.
Oh, clap hands.
We've had the new look.
Hello.
And a change in women's hats.
The only thing that ain't changed is the Democrats.
The rumba took the place of swing.
Moved it.
And bebop now is the thing.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. Yes, sir, I put on my beret, and I face the east every day.
Then what?
Then the audience faces west.
Well, Tall Fry, your hair ain't getting any grayer.
No, but Small Fry,
let me know it.
My window is getting bare.
My, you mean you're known as Atso Fay?
At home they call me Turhan with the Ellie Bay. Hey, is the man here with the net?
Man with the net?
No.
He ain't arrived yet.
Oh, me.
Oh,
telling you, small fry, it's kind of tough for a fella to get adjusted.
Yes, it is, Tall Fry, and especially once you've rusted.
My, you mean they're thinking of trading us in?
Well, honest John would if we were chromium, but we just tin.
The paint's thin.
Yeah, Tall Fry.
Listen
How
to
about
me.
your battery? Is it sparking?
Well, small fry. It is, but I use it just for parking.
Well, these rumble seats of ours, they're really not the fad.
No, the Ford's out in front, but we're out in the back like a camp.
Say, I heard your kids when they were here.
And?
Well, you should have gone out for a beer.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes, indeed.
I wouldn't move.
You ought to keep them standing by.
I don't see why.
Well, when the notes get too high,
Continue.
I understand that your nose begins to bleed. Well, tell me, Tall Fry, how about this television?
Small fry?
Yeah.
I've been withholding my decision.
Yeah, but man, just think. You sit right at home and you play a scene.
But they can't get my piazza on that little bitty screen.
Like the scale says, with each new pound, I'll be seeing you around. Oh, me, oh, my small fry.
John, we ought to get together frequently and do a new version of Small Fry. don't
Well,
you think?
it's okay with me, Bing.
Which brings us up to showtime. Time for our dramatic offering. Take over, Ken.
Tonight we take you to the hill country of Georgia, where we meet our cast of characters in a stirring drama of mountain life.
I'm Johnny Mercer, a simple mountain boy.
I'm Peggy Lee, a simple mountain girl.
I'm old Grandpappy Trotter, a simple mountain.
I'm Bing Crosby. I'm simple.
Like many mountain folks. Please. Like many mountain folks, our friends are musically inclined. Johnny has a fine voice.
Haven't you, Johnny?
Peggy has a fine voice, too.
Ooh, bop, shabam, a klooky mop.
And as for Bing's voice...
What are you laughing at? That's just the accompaniment. I ain't sung yet.
As the curtain rises, we find old Grandpappy Trotter talking with his granddaughter, Peggy.
Peggy, what's the idea of hanging our cow on the clothesline?
Well, that ain't the cow. That's young Dr. Malone's rubber glove. I wonder where my boyfriends are. Come in.
Hi, folks.
Howdy, Bing. Come on in.
I'm in.
Say, Bing, what you wearing on your feet?
Horseshoes.
Horseshoes?
Yeah, I took a mule down to the blacksmith shop, and they were having a 1-cent sale, so I paid an extra penny, and I got 4 more shoes.
Well, you're only wearing 2 of them. Where's the other 2?
You ought to hear me when I sit down. Well, what we waiting for? Why don't we eat?
Well, we gotta wait for Johnny Mercer.
He can't eat. He ain't got no teeth.
Well, he has now. I whittled him a set.
You ought to see him. He's got the prettiest naughty pine smile you ever saw.
Come on in.
Hi, Peggy. Can I have a kiss?
Okey beeby dokey.
Wow, what a kiss. Look at the teeth you whittled. Charcoal.
Hey, Johnny, is that mud between your toes or your web-footed?
Why, you wampa-jawed idiot, I'm wearing shoes. I got a good notion to kick you right in the seat of your britches.
Well, you do, and they'll kick you back. Now, John.
I had it scratched out on my page. You're darn tootin', and I've been tootin' durns for nigh on to 40 yards.
By the way, Grandpa, where's Grandma?
She fell in the well a year ago today. I ought to go out and holler happy anniversary down at her.
Stand back, everybody. That may be Grandma. And whenever she comes out of the well, she shakes like a dog.
It can't be Grandma. That was a dry knock.
Come in.
Well, howdy. Hello, everybody.
Why, it's Mr. Carpenter, the circuit riding judge.
Well, I just don't know who to marry. Gosh, old fishhooks, land of Goshen, shucks the mighty, and similar southern sayings.
Peg me, Peggy.
No, me, I'm crazy about you. Just listen to this.
I'd like to get you on a slow mule to Memphis. Just you and me alone. I'd like to boost you in the saddle for to make that long trek. Leave all your kinfolks, 'cause they're a pain in the neck.
I ride through the cotton in a dress that's store-boughten. And as we ride real soon,
I'd like to get you on a slow mule to Memphis on our jackass high.
Oh, no, Peggy's going with me. Listen to this, honey. I'd love to get you on a slow mule to Macon, all to myself for keep. I'll make it right legal, 'cause I've got the ring, and I'd leave all these idiots, and I include my old friend Bing.
I'll be tall in the saddle on your mule that I straddle.
Just from them calluses alone. I'd like to get you on a slow mule to Macon, and we'll live on fat back and corn pone.
Fellas, the both of you can't marry up with me.
Why not? In these parts, one man can marry a 15-year-old gal. Why can't two men marry a 30-year-old gal?
Why, certainly, that's arithmetic right out of book learning.
But, fellas, I ain't 30 yet.
You ain't to Memphis yet either.
Well, let's get going. Let's all get on that darn mule. We'll all go together on a slow mule to Memphis on our jackass honeymoon.
The ride's a long one.
I'll eat a pillow.
Eat off the mantle. Our jackass honeymoon.
Everybody, I hope you had a great ride, Peg and Johnny and Bing. You fellas sure are lucky. Friends, now's the time to get lucky at your Philco dealer. January belongs to Philco. Your Philco dealer is loaded with special money-saving offers. If you're heading anywhere for a winter vacation, here's your chance to pick up the pick of the portables, a powerhouse Philco that gives you top performance on battery or on AC or DC. And for you stay-at-homes, January is your opportunity of a lifetime to own the greatest performing radio phonographs you ever bent your ear to. Compare them and judge for yourself. These new Philco consoles give you everything but everything for luxurious listening, including the greatest invention of the century in recorded music, a 2-speed phonograph that plays both your regular records automatically and the sensational new long-playing kind. Ask your Philco dealer to demonstrate his Blue Tag specials. Blue Tag bargains on FM, too. So don't miss these once-in-a-blue moon values from Philco, famous for quality the world over.
Now the title tune from Walt Disney's newest, So Dear to My Heart. This fine picture world premieres in Indianapolis on January 19th. Should be quite a doings around the monument that night. So dear to my heart, that September-y day, with the leaves turning brown and gold. When you were the dream I would hold, so dear to my heart, so dear to my heart, that December-y day, when we strolled down a snow-white lane. The kiss that we shared will remain, so dear to my heart. And when it's springtime and the fields are dressed with flowers, you're the sweetest flower in bloom. Oh, how I treasure all the happy hours and the dreams that I shared with you. They bloom in my heart in a corner apart. Every sweet, tender memory. As long as I live, they will be so dear to my heart. And thus another one is tucked away. My thanks to Peggy Lee and Johnny Mercer for helping us mix it up tonight.
How about next week's show, Bing? Who's going to be with you?
Next week, John, we're playing host to Hattie McDaniel.
Oh, you mean Beulah?
That's right, Peg. One of America's new favorites, Beulah. Plus her big boyfriend, Bill, the whole Henderson family, and Beulah's bubble-headed girlfriend, Oreo.
Sounds like a lot of laughs.
We hope it'll be. Good night, Johnny and Peggy.
Night, Bing.
So long, tall fry.
So long, small likewise.